Freelance journalist Trey Yingst arrived home from his visit to Gaza just 2 days ago. There he says he saw the most gruesome war injuries that he has ever seen. Trey's here now to talk more about his experience. So first, let's start with you. Were at Shifa Hospital that was bombed earlier today. Your reaction when you heard that bit of news?
When I heard it was bombed, I had just been there 4 days ago, and I just remember all the children and women that were sitting outside the hospital trying to take refuge there.
Talk about, so you went, first talk about why you were there and what you saw when you were in Gaza.
So I co-founded a news organization called News2share's, and we go to conflict zones and try to tell both sides of the story. So when I was in Gaza, I had taken a military convoy over the border, and some of the injuries that I saw at the hospital were like, I'd never seen injuries that extensive before. You know, I've reported in conflict zones before in Uganda and Ukraine, but the injuries that were sustained by some people in Gaza were just gruesome. People that lost limbs and people that were just dead on arrival right when they got to the hospital.
You had a chance to talk to some of those folks?
Yeah, and I spoke with one of the doctors at the hospital, and he personally had never seen any injuries this bad. And he's been working at the hospital for almost 10 years through previous wars in Gaza, and just said that he hadn't seen anything like it.
When you talked to did you talk to any of the patients or some of the folks? What message did they want to share and for you to get out?
They wanted people in the world to realize that the Palestinian people don't all support Hamas. You know, people are dying on both sides of this conflict, so it's important to realize, and I think the people there understood that it was important to realize that Hamas maybe doesn't represent all Palestinian people. And a lot of women and children that would just like to be safe and go about their everyday lives were being affected by this conflict.
Now, you're a young man, you told me 20 years of age, in the middle of a war zone. What kind of precautions were you taking? What was it like? What did it feel like to be there? How scared, worried were you while you were there?
I was never scared the whole time I was there, but I was always prepared. And there were rockets going off, explosions, the Israeli Navy trying to hit some of these Hamas bases that were shooting rockets into Israel. But I was never scared because I had a bulletproof vest, a Kevlar helmet that I wore every time I left the hotel that I was staying at. And like I said, just prepared, because you have to always be ready for something to happen to you. You don't want to be the headline news. You want to just be telling the stories.
Now, you said you got a chance to talk to the Palestinian people, and they said not everyone supports Hamas. Did you get a chance to talk to the Israeli side of things, and what did they say?
Yeah, with all these conflicts that I cover, I think it's very important to tell both sides of the story and take a very objective view on things. So I spoke with some people on the Israeli side as well, and they had very similar feelings, and that's what I found very interesting, was that both sides just wanted the rocket fire to stop. They wanted the violence to stop, and both sides were equally, I think, responsible in some sense. Hamas has tunnels that are going under the border into Israel that is scaring Israelis because they feel they're going to be attacked, and the Palestinian people would like Israel to stop the violence because they feel like they're being attacked. So it's a very two-sided issue.
Yeah. Plans to go back, or are you looking for something else?
Well, I got to start school at the end of August here again, but maybe, we'll see.
Yeah. Mom and Dad supportive?
They're supportive, but definitely worried. I try to call them as much as I can and update them on the situation while I'm there.
Well, we appreciate you being here. Wish you luck. You're going to be a broadcast journalist, and you're
Thank you,
well on your way.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Trey.